Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi and today in this video I'm going to be talking about the monthly horoscope for the month of February. So I'm going to be discussing here the transit of all the planets other than the moon, because the moon is too quick. It changes its zodiac very often. So other than the moon, I'm going to be discussing all the other planets and the general effect of this. So why am I saying the general effect? Because you then have to watch out for the dashas that you have or the dashas that you are undergoing and focus more on that one particular planet. The dasha, the antardasha especially of the planet that you have, you will feel the impact of that particular transit more. But I'm going to be discussing all the planets and a very general monthly horoscope here that we're going to be discussing. So this month, about 5 of the planets are in the Artha trine. Rahu is in Taurus. We all know that. Jupiter and Saturn and Sun and even Mercury and Venus. So that is 5 planets in Capricorn and Rahu is in Taurus. So that makes it 6 planets. Mars and Ketu are not in the Artha trine. Mars is in Aries for most of this month. Mars will enter Taurus on the 23rd. Up till the 23rd, Mars is in Aries. Ketu is of course in Scorpio. And the moon is quickly changing its zodiac every 2 days, 2.5 days. So here we are going to be talking about the rest of the planets other than the moon. So this is a lot of energy in the sign of Capricorn. The sign of Capricorn is very, very strongly activated. I would not say very positively activated. I would say very strongly activated. A lot is happening in the sign of Capricorn. You will feel a disturbance in the sign of Capricorn. Wherever Capricorn is in your chart, there could be a disturbance there. And especially if you have a dasha of one of these planets, because right from the beginning of the month, Jupiter, Saturn will be combust. Mercury is going to be in retrogression. From Aquarius, it comes back to Capricorn, and from the 3rd, Mercury too will be combust. Venus will go into combustion on the 14th, and for the rest of the month, Venus is going to be combust. On the 22nd of Feb, Venus enters Aquarius. Interesting, Venus goes combust on Valentine's Day, on the 14th of February. So for all you lovebirds, that does not look like a very good omen. And on the 22nd, it enters Aquarius. On the 10th, Saturn comes out of combustion. On the 12th, Jupiter comes out of combustion. And on the 21st, Mercury goes direct. And the Sun enters the sign of Aquarius on the 13th. So that is mostly like what this month is like, majorly how the planets are looking. And Mars is entering Taurus on the 23rd. Just in case I didn't mention that, I'd like to mention that as well. Venus enters Aquarius on the 22nd. So that is largely what the month is like. Now let's talk about these planets and the effect of all the planets in the various zodiacs. So Sun is going to be for the first half of the month in Capricorn, and then it moves into Aquarius. Here we will all be focused on tangible results. We will all be focusing and working towards achieving our goals. But as the month progresses, we would all like to break away from tradition, break away from convention, do something new, find new ways of doing things. And we would all be more aware of what is not right in our lives, what is outdated in our lives, what all do we need to change, and what are the new ways, what are the unique, innovative ways that we can change those things. So those are going to be the themes, especially for the Sun. So if you have a Sun dasha, then this is how you will be feeling this entire month. You would be trying to achieve your goals, ambitions, as well as finding new ways of getting rid of things that are outdated in your life. Venus is going to be in Capricorn till the 22nd, and then it moves into Aquarius. So here, you would feel more connected, or you would easily connect to other people who help you achieve your ambitions. You would easily be able to strike a chord, build a relationship with people who are helping you in your ambitions. Those people that have a Venus-Rahu conjunction, especially, or Venus being impacted by Rahu in D1 or D9. So there is a promise in your chart where there will be a pull towards unconventional relationships, and that you will feel more so now. as Venus is moving towards Aquarius. Many of you who are going to get into a relationship, if Aquarius is your 5th house, let's suppose you're a Libra ascendant, now Venus is entering your 5th house, and in your chart you have a Rahu aspecting Venus, especially by a Rashi Drishti. In that case, you will be pulled towards unconventional relationships with people who are outside your culture, religion, custom, people you may consider a foreigner. And those who are already in relationships will not be able to accept any kind of unfairness, impartiality. So you would look for a lot of fairness in relationships, a lot of balance in relationships. So that is what this month is like. And you would also be attracted towards, or you would easily be able to build partnerships and relationships for financial gains, for business, for career growth. Mars is in the sign of Aries. So that is a very forceful Mars. That is that has a go-getter kind of an attitude. It's an action-oriented Mars. You would want to achieve your aim, achieve your goals by taking the shortest path, by focusing your energy completely, by not wasting any time. There would be a sort of fearlessness, a lot of courage that we may feel. Especially if you have a Mars Dasha, you would be feeling more confident, more action-oriented. You would be able to achieve your goals faster. And it's good if you are starting a project. These first 20-23 days are very important while Mars is in Aries. You will feel that energy, you will feel that push. Because after that, Mars enters Taurus. Here, Mars is more of a stable Mars, more of a defensive Mars, and more of a patient Mars, where you will then gradually be moving towards your goals. It's not like going to be like a push, it's not going to be like a very, very fast movement towards your goals. Then it's going to be a very slow and steady kind of a progress. So if you're starting something and you want that initial push, now is the time to go for it, because the energy is going to be like that for all of us, especially if we are undergoing a Mars Dasha. But the negative side of this Mars is that there is going to be an element of impatience in us, some amount of recklessness. We're going to be moving sometimes without thinking too much. So if you have a Mars Dasha, you need to be a little more cautious. Tread cautiously, and especially if you have that kind of a Mars in your chart, because now it is there in transit as well, and you will feel the effect more. Little bit of aggression can also be there in your attitude. Then Mercury is going to be in retrogression all this month in the sign of Capricorn. Now this is a more serious, more thoughtful, more pensive energy. There's going to be a seriousness in your conversation, in your communication. There's going to be a thoughtfulness. There's going to be a very practical kind of attitude where communication, interaction is concerned, because even Venus is in Capricorn. So you're going to be very practical in your thoughts, very thoughtful in your conversations, very realistic. And since it's in retrogression, it's a great time now to go over our projects. Whatever we are already doing, go over your projects and think of ways and means to improve, because this is a very, very practical energy, and we will be able to connect with others and build partnerships that will help us grow in our business or wherever. If you need to interact with people, if you need to make partnerships, this is a good month. And if you need to correct things, plan things, organize things, then Mercury retrograde in Capricorn is a great energy. You will be able to think in a very methodical manner. You will be very calculative in your approach. You may also come across to be a little cold sometimes. So that is what generally this month looks like. Now let's talk about all the zodiacs one by one. I will start with Aries. So you have Mars in the ascendant. The ascendant lord is in the ascendant. The second house has Rahu, and the 10th house has a lot of planets. So this does show disturbance in career. There could be travel. There could be obstacles in career. There may be new opportunities as well in career. You may be building new relationships in your workplace. You may be using a lot of creativity. So the highlight of this month is your workplace, is your career. Some changes can be expected. Some obstacles can be expected. New opportunities also can be expected, because Jupiter is also a part of this, conjunction of planets. But for materialistic things, you may feel obstacles. But where your work, your karma is concerned, spiritually, if you are inclined spiritually, then this is going to be a very supportive month. Because all these combust planets show you'd be more supported, this energy will be more supportive if you are putting your action, if you're learning something, if you're connecting with your spiritual side, then this is going to be a more supportive month for you. For everybody, for even housewives. In your day-to-day work, you may feel there is some disturbance, more obstacles, like, if you have help at home, they are giving you trouble, things like that. But wherever you're doing anything spiritual, that you will feel there is more support in that area for you. Where children are concerned, children as well may feel obstacles in their studies. So you got to be extra cautious about, children, because both the 5th Lord and Jupiter are in the 10th house with a lot of planets, and they may feel very disturbed because exams are around the corner. So these are crucial months. So the first half of the month, you got to be extra cautious about where children are putting in their energies, and even your own workplace you got to be a little cautious about. Now I'm going to be talking about Taurus. For Taurus, Rahu is in the ascendant, and Mars by the end of the month is also going to be in the ascendant. That's a lot of energy in the ascendant. Rahu, of course, Rahu is a malefic, Mars is a malefic. Mars is the 12th Lord. And Rahu is the 10th Lord. So the 10th Lord is in the ascendant, which is great, which may bring new work opportunities for you. But this combination of Rahu and Mars, by the end of the month, you may feel certain health issues. You may feel a lot of heat in your body, heat related issues, fevers. So that kind of a thing you may start feeling by the end of the month. Other than that, there can be a lot of expenditure this month. There could be some travel for you this month. You may utilize your energy in doing some social work. There could be there could be like a battle in your mind about your philosophy, your thinking. You may feel there's a shift in your thinking, in your philosophy, because the ascendant Lord, the 9th Lord, the 10th Lord, the 11th Lord, they're all in the 9th house. So there could be a shift in your thinking, there could be a shift in your philosophy because of some new education that you're taking. There could be certain issues related to your father. But where career is concerned, the latter half of the month is looking brighter. You'd be more focused. You'd be wanting to use some kind of a unique approach in your workplace. But the conjunctions in the 9th house remains. There's still going to be about 4 planets there. So there is a disturbance in the 9th house. So your relationship with your father, your teacher, your guru, your own philosophy, this is going to be the theme of this month. And especially if you have a dasha of any of these planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus is going to be there, Mercury is going to be there. So if you have a dasha of these planets, you're going to feel this more. Work is looking better after the 15th. Like I said, unconventional relationships could happen for you. Unconventional themes in your workplace could also be there for you. That is all for Taurus. Now I'm going to be talking about Gemini. For Gemini, this conjunction of planets is in the 8th house. You have Jupiter in the 8th, Saturn in the 8th, then you have Sun in the 8th. You have Mercury also in the 8th and Venus also in the 8th, So there's a lot happening in your personal life. So this could be your relationship with your spouse, this could be your relationship with your in-laws, this could be your own personal self, your subconscious self, your secrets, the secret side we all have to ourselves. This could be some activation related to occult studies. This could be something related to any investments that you've done, but there's a lot of disturbance here. So I won't say this is looking good. This is not looking so good. This is a very disturbed house right now. So there is some disturbance related to relationships, secret relationships with your spouse. So you may feel disturbed. The subconscious will be disturbed. I would suggest to Gemini that, you should this month meditate a little. Just spend some time by yourself and meditate and calm yourself, because Mercury too is going to be a part of this conjunction. It's going to be in retrogression and it also is going to be combust. So for Gemini, I feel this is a little bit of a disturbed month, especially for the first half till Sun and Venus also part of this conjunction, and then of course they're going to move out. So you will feel some relief once Sun is out, because the third lord is also our ideas, thoughts. So all this in the 8th house does look very disturbing. For Gemini, Venus is your 5th lord, and like I said, Venus is moving towards Aquarius. So here unconventional relationships can happen for you if you have that kind of a promise, and if you are in that kind of a stage in life. And since the transit also shows the 8th house activated, so 8th house themes related to relationships could be there for you this month. About your health, I would say be careful. Mercury is combust in retrogression in the 8th house. After the first half of the month, new opportunities may come your way. Travel could be there for you. New education, new phase in your relationship with your father, with a mentor, with somebody who's guiding you. So you could receive certain guidance, some good advice from a father figure or from a mentor in the second half of the month. Gains can be seen where your service, where your job is concerned. The 6th lord is in the 11th house and it is in its Mool Trikon sign. So this is a good month for gains professionally. So your long-term ambition, something or the other, could fructify for you, could work out for you. And expenditure also is seen. Travel can also happen for you since the 9th house and the 12th house, with Mars also moving towards the 12th house, Mars Rahu conjunction there. So some travel could be there for you. But definitely there's going to be a disturbance because the 8th house and then Mars Rahu conjunction in the 12th house. So there is a disturbance at the subconscious level. Like having bad dreams, not being able to sleep, not being calm inside. So those are the kind of themes that can be expected, other than certain health issues depending on the promise in your chart. But where work is concerned, where new opportunities are concerned, where travel is concerned, where good advice is concerned, that could also come your way. Now I'm going to be talking about Cancer. For Cancer, this conjunction of planets is in the 7th house. And after the 13th, Sun moves into the 8th house. Venus too will be joining the Sun later on. In the 10th house, you have Mars in its Mool Trikon. 11th is Rahu and 5th is Ketu. So where career is concerned, you have your 10th lord in the 10th house, very, very strong. This is looking very good for your career, for great growth. Rahu too is in the 11th house. It's an exaltation in Taurus. So Rahu in the 11th, Mars in the 10th. This is looking good. But disturbance where your social circle is concerned, where your relationship is concerned, where your spouse is concerned, where business partners are concerned. But this could be more on a personal level because the 10th house is very strong. So this possibly could be on a personal level. There could be disturbance. If you are into business partnerships, there could be certain issues that come up with your business partners. There could be hidden issues that come to limelight because then the Sun is moving towards the 8th house. So the 8th house is now going to be all lit up. So certain hidden issues with business partners, with relationships might come up and they may be a little disturbing to you. Some of you also may like to invest in things like mutual funds and other kind of funds you may want to invest this month for the future. And it is a good month to invest, of course. But disturbance is going to be in the 7th house. I would suggest not to travel too much this month for Cancer people. So generally a good month where career is concerned, not so good for business partnerships and for relationships, and good time for investment as well. Now I'm going to be talking about Leo. For Leo, this conjunction of planets is in the 6th house. In the 7th house, Sun is going to enter after the 13th and then will be joined by Venus. And in the 9th house, you have Mars. In the 10th house, you have Rahu. So not so bad for Leo. This combination of planets in the 6th house, in your daily routine, in your workplace, the only negativity it shows is that you could have certain arguments, you could have some bad moments, there could be some disturbance in the 6th house, in your daily routine, with your colleagues, with your co-workers, with your team. So that kind of a disturbance is seen. And those that have a promise, there could be certain litigation as well. There could be certain litigation, there could be certain conflict, that you have to face this month. So just avoid any arguments, avoid any conflict, avoid any kind of a disturbance, avoid being part of anything like that this month, because the chances are high that you may get pulled into something like that. Relationships are looking good. The Ascendant Lord will be in the 7th house after the first half of the month. So business partnerships, relationships, meeting somebody, entering into an unconventional kind of a relationship, because Venus is also going to be in the 7th house. If you have that kind of a promise in the chart, can also be seen. Those that would want to initiate some project, because this is the 10th Lord, Venus is the 10th Lord, it is now in the 7th house. So initiating a business partnership, initiating a business. So those kind of themes can also be there for you. For children, the 5th Lord is in the 6th house. It's combust. It's with a lot of planets. Disturbance can be seen. Concentration of children may be disturbed. So for you yourself also, you may feel a little disconcerted, a little unhappy, a little more sucked into conflict, little more sucked into mundane things, especially for the first half of the month. There could also be a conflict over your philosophy, over your thinking, about the way you like to put things across. You may be too forceful in your thought, in your action. This month you may be like, this is my thought, it's going to be like this. I'm not going to budge. And because of that, you may just get into trouble. So we just need to be aware of that. And, astrology is all about being aware, accepting, and then changing ourselves. So we need to work on that as well. Work is looking good. And by the end of the month, you're going to have Mars Rahu in the 10th house. So that is like a very, very fiery yoga in the 10th house. Be very, very alert of how you proceed in work matters after the 23rd, once Mars enters the 10th house. Should not be too aggressive in your approach, should not be too hasty in your attitude. So those things will not pay off. Now I'm going to be talking about Virgo. For Virgo, this conjunction of planets is in the 5th house. So with this, there is a huge conjunction of these 5 planets in the 5th house. Shows a lot of disturbance. The 5th house is our thinking, our happiness, and having these planets there, they are going to make us feel very disturbed. There's going to be a lot of unrest in us. This is our happiness, this is our romance, this is the gains of the 7th house, gains of relationships. So relationships could be disturbing us. Also Venus is a part of this conjunction. So relationships could be disturbing us. There could be disturbance with children, there could be disturbance with education, there could be disturbance in your own creativity. You may feel messed up if you're into certain creative projects. You may not feel very, that you're not able to cope up, that kind of a situation. After the 15th, Sun is moving out. Sun is going to be in the 6th house. And Venus is also going to follow, the Sun there in the 6th house. So then there'll be some cordiality, some improvement in relationships with your co-workers. People in your workplace will recognize you. And authority people will also recognize your good work. You will be able to build a better relationship with your with your co-workers, and female bosses would be supportive to you. Females in your workplace would be supportive to you. So that kind of environment also you will feel, especially if you have the dasha of these planets. Luck factor can be there where work is concerned, where daily routine is concerned. Luck factor can be there in litigation and conflict for you. And again, you have Mars in the 8th house. So here there is Mars is in its own house. So for those people who have, if you are expecting some gains from insurance, inheritance, and from long-term investments, that could also happen for you. Travel could also be there for you. And by the end of the month, you're going to have Mars move into your 9th house with Rahu. So some disturbance can be there in long distance travel by the end of the month. And some disturbance also could be there with your father. But generally prior to that, the first 20 odd days is good for long-term investments, for gains through investments, inheritances, mutual funds, any investments that you made in the past. And you're going to be more aware of your own thoughts. You're going to be more thoughtful because the 5th house, the 8th house, both are very activated. So there's going to be a lot happening in the background in your personal life, in relationships especially. So there could be some disturbance there. It's leaving you a little disturbed. And especially it's because the ascendant lord is also in the 5th house. So with your children, with relationships, extra caution is required this month. Now I'm going to be talking about Libra. Libra, you have this conjunction of planets in the 4th house. You have Ketu in the 2nd house. In the 4th house, you have Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, and you have Venus, and then you have Mercury. So these are a lot of planets. Lots of disturbance at home can be seen, or this could be related to real estate, because you have right now Mars in the 7th house in its Mool Trikon. So Mars is in the 7th house. The 4th house has so many planets all together. So this could be about real estate, property matters. These themes may come up for you this month. Or this could be some disturbance at home. This could also suggest, if you are driving, if you're on the road, you need to be extra cautious, because Mars in the 7th, so many planets in the 4th house, Venus being combust, and so this is not a very pretty picture. So you got to be extra cautious. Also about your health, be cautious. Venus is the ascendant lord, a part of all this conjunction. 8th house, you have Rahu. 2nd house, you have Ketu in their own houses. This is the wealth axis. So the wealth axis is nicely activated because both these planets are in their own zodiacs, or they are exalted. So there is a big theme of wealth, property, Mars being in its Mool Trikon in the 7th house, 4th house being very strongly activated. So this could be related to property, wealth matters, or there could be disturbance at home, disturbance in relationships, anger issues, lots of fighting between you and your spouse. And there could be some amount of creativity that you take interest in, some education, some new knowledge that you may seek after the first half of the month as well. Now I'm going to be talking about Scorpio. For Scorpio, in the ascendant, you have Ketu. 7th house is Rahu, Mars is the 6th house. And in the 3rd house, you have all these planets all together. So this is a lot of, lots of energy in the 3rd house and 6th house Mars. So this is like extremely good for Scorpio. For Scorpio, this could be the best transit. Having, so many malefics, you having a Saturn, then you have Sun, then Jupiter is combust, Mercury, Venus, all the planets in the 3rd house, and then in the 6th house, Mars. Lots of energy to go out and fight for what you want. This is like an action-packed month for you. Nothing is going to stop you. And, there's going to be a lot of fearlessness, a lot of courage from your side, and the ability to fight all obstacles, all conflict, and win over it. That is the kind of an energy there is this month. But Rahu is in the 7th house and Mars is going to be in the 7th after the 23rd. So where relationships are concerned, little bit of caution is required. You need to be a little patient with relationships. But where your work is concerned, if you're applying somewhere for a job and there are other candidates as well, having the ability to beat them, that we can see in this transit. But depending on the dasha you have, if you have the dasha of Mars, this is a great month for you. And after the 15th, Sun and Venus are going to move into your 4th house. So you may be spending more time at home, more time learning, more time with your family, there could be people coming and visiting you. There could be friends or family or relatives coming and visiting you. So pleasant times can be seen at home, good times at home. Lots of energy being used to complete your work. Some disturbance with your spouse. Now I'm going to be talking about Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, you have Ketu in the 12th house. In the 2nd house, you have all these planets. Then you have Mars in the 5th house. So the 2nd house is very disturbed right now. Family, wealth, your communication, the way you talk. So this shows some disturbance at home, some disturbance in the family. There could be an argument. This could be related to finances. Some issues related to finances can also be seen here. But after the 15th, the Sun and Venus will move into the 3rd house. So here, travel can be seen, new knowledge can be seen, new interaction can be seen, new relationships with friends, spending time with friends, going out, partying, that kind of thing can be seen. Some expenditure will also be there. Where defeating competition is concerned, where your routine work is concerned, daily work is concerned, your office environment is concerned, after the first half of the month, by the end of this month, you need to be a bit cautious, because Mars Rahu will be impacting the 6th house. There could be disturbance, there could be conflict in the workplace with your competitors. So your competitors could be very fiery this month. But the first 20-25 days, your communication, wealth matters, family matters. These are the key themes. There could be disturbance here. And after the first half of the month, it's going to be about enjoyment, spending time with friends, spending some money, even shopping a little bit. So after the first 15-20 days, it's looking better for enjoyment, but little disturbance in the workplace or with your competitors can be seen. Those that have children, your children could be absorbed in some conflict. Your children could then, by the end of this month, start feeling very angry, very agitated, disturbed. Or they could be participating in a competition where they're putting in a lot of effort. So now I'm going to be talking about Capricorn. For Capricorn, these planets are going to be in the ascendant. So you have Saturn in the ascendant, Jupiter in the ascendant, Sun, Venus, and then you're going to have Mercury also in the ascendant. So 5 planets in the ascendant, very disturbing. Then you're going to be very confused. And especially the first 13-14 days, this is going to be a disturbing month for you. It's a great time to start a spiritual routine. If you already have a spiritual routine, then you will not feel the disturbance at all. Then you'd be able to focus very much in your spiritual routine. So for spirituality, for meditation, for mantra jap, this is a great month for you. After the 15th, Sun and Venus are going to move into the 2nd house. New ideas, new ways of making money, new relationships, thinking about getting married, because the 7th house is activated both by Saturn and Jupiter. So there could be new ideas, new plans in increasing family, in the growth of family, in the growth of wealth. Those kind of things can also be seen. In the 4th house, you have Mars. Mars is the 4th lord in the 4th house. So here, spending some money, buying maybe a vehicle, buying some property. So these matters can also be seen. By the end of the month, you're going to have Rahu, Mars in the 5th house. So there is some disturbance, maybe with your children, maybe in a relationship. Maybe you could be meeting somebody, and but there's a lot of fire that can be seen, because the 7th house is activated both by Jupiter and Saturn. The 2nd house have Sun and Venus, and the 5th house will have Mars and Rahu. So even though you meet somebody, this could be a very fiery kind of an encounter, and it may not last for too long. So you need to be very cool-headed if you're interacting with somebody, meeting somebody for the first time, if you intend to get married and you in a courtship or a dating period. So there could be a heated argument, a fiery kind of a relationship, short-lived, that probably may be short-lived, depending again on your natal chart. So for Capricorn, it's a good month for meditation, for some kind of a spiritual routine. I suggest you do get into it, because all these planets in the head area are going to be disturbing you a lot. So I really do suggest that do some meditation, a little bit of pranayam maybe, and that will help settle you down, especially with Mars also in the 4th house, and then it's moving into the 5th house with Rahu. So this can be a little disturbing for you. So it's a good time to think of new ways of making money. The 10th lord is in the 2nd house. So there could be new ideas that come to your mind. So start focusing on those things and stay cool, meditate, do a bit of pranayam, and relax, chill out a bit. Now I'm going to be talking about Aquarius. For Aquarius, this group of planets is in the 12th house. After the 13th, Sun is going to be in the ascendant, and then Venus is going to follow it. And in the 3rd house, you have Mars. In the 4th house, you have Rahu. 10th house, you have Ketu. Great to have Mars in the 3rd house. You'd be fearless, very courageous. For new initiatives, it's a good time. There can be a lot of expenditure. You may feel disturbed in your sleep. You may feel little restless this month. But there's going to be a confidence also about you. Sun is going to be moving into the ascendant. There's going to be a confidence in you, and you're going to feel very attractive. You may want to interact with more people. You may get into a relationship. There could be expenditure on relationships, on romance. There could be expenditure on children. Be careful about your health. Your ascendant lord is in the 12th house and it's going to be combust. There could be a visit to a hospital, because Sun is also the 7th lord. It's the Markesh. It's going to be in the ascendant, as well as the ascendant lord is in the 12th house. So there could be expenditure, there could be travel, there could be a visit to the hospital, lots of fearlessness, lots of courage in you, some disturbance in your home life. New initiatives, new travel, lots of effort, lots of growth where work is concerned, first 20-25 days. So that is all for Aquarius. I'm now going to be talking about Pisces. In your 11th house, you have all these planets. Great place to have all these planets in the 11th house. And in the second house, you have Mars. In the third house, you have Rahu. In the 9th house, you have Ketu. And in the 11th house, all these planets show gains. There could be certain issues in your network circles. There could be certain conflict that you have to face with your network circles. Your network circle may grow. You may go to a party where you interact with a lot of people, and spiritual people also. There could be a lot of travel for you this month. Could be new opportunities coming from foreign places, foreign countries for you this month. So travel is strongly indicated. New opportunities related to foreign countries can be seen. Growth is seen. Gains can happen for you. Be careful about your communication. You may be too hasty this month. After about the 23rd of this month, you're going to feel very courageous. You may be starting new initiatives. You may look for new experiences. So it's now not about what your father taught you, what traditions have been telling you. It's now about you wanting to experience things for yourself, to experience new things, to venture out, to look for new opportunities. And this is a great month for growth, other than the fact that Jupiter, the ascendant lord, is also going to be in debilitation. And Sun, the 6th lord, is going to be conjunct the ascendant lord. So there you got to be little cautious about your health and little cautious about expenditure. But it's a great month for opportunities, for hard work, for new initiatives, and for listening to some good advice given by a teacher, a guru. So all in all, it's a good month for Pisces, because this disturbance, all this group of planets are in the 11th house. The 11th and the 6th houses are the best houses to have these planets. So it's generally a good month for Pisces as well. Bye bye for now.